Not Worth the Time with Wade Taylor. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Not Worth the Time. We're here. We're doing it. We're doing the thing. I still don't understand why I start off every fucking podcast that way. It's just become the thing now. It's just the thing I say to get me launched into start yammering to myself. It is pretty, I've talked about it before. It's weird that I'm just sitting in a room by myself trying to talk to you folks. But what else? It's, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. We've been doing this for 125 episodes, and we're on 100. We're going to do it again for the 126th time, and that's just the way it is. I hope everybody's having a good week. I'm recording this on Sunday, trying to get ahead of schedule, and so I'm really pumped for the Niners game right now. So you'll know here shortly on Monday, you'll know if I was sad or not at the last on Sunday, going into Sad Boy Sunday, or if I'm extremely happy and I won't have any kind of outburst at work because I'm upset about other grown men's achievements. Yeah, everybody always makes fun of that. Look, I can't believe these grown dudes are rooting for these 20-year-olds to play football, and this is their life, and they think about it. It's not my life, but you gotta have something to root for, man. You gotta be a part of something, and that's what sports give you. Is it make you feel a part of something. It's better than the alternatives. Yeah, you got to feel like you're a part of something. That's the only thing. Like, I know I talk a big game about how I always want to go live in the woods. Like, that's my thing. I want to go out and buy a fucking cabin in Montana and get away from it all. But that's how crazy things start happening. There's certain people who ended up on the FBI watch list because they did shit like that. So yeah, I want to be that, but you guys still gotta have a group you gotta be around. You still gotta be social. It'd be crazy if somehow I was off the grid, but I still somehow kept up with the NFL. Just being in a cabin in the woods, somehow finding FM radio stations. I just have to be close enough to the Bay Area to still get the Niners games. I guess I could keep up the other way. I'd have to figure out how to get like. You can't have satellite radio. That's how they'll track you. But the FM radio frequencies, I don't think they can really track. They probably can. What am I thinking? Of course they can. But either way, I wouldn't give up radio. I'd figure out a way to have radio still around, That's how you keep up with the news of the outside world. And that's how I'd get tricked into one of those, the War of the World situations. Some punk kid would find out that I have a radio out there, and it's like, let's fuck with this frequency, and they'd trigger my skepticism about the world ending, and I'd just go in full fucking prepper doomsday mode out in the woods. That's how that happens. And then I'd end up killing somebody by accident who walked on my property because I thought the world ended. And then I'd get arrested, and then I'd go to jail. And I'm basically a feral animal at that point. You put me in a cage after being in the woods by myself. Being in those modern situations, I'm not going to know how to interact with people. I've been in the woods for 10, 15 years at this point. I don't know what the new social norms are. Yeah. That situation's so funny. Wow. I have had my coffee today. Starting out with that. But I hope everybody's having a good week. I hope everybody's going well. My buddy's a big Eagles fan, so I'm sure I'm going to get a text message, or I'm going to text him at some point during this game today, and there will be shit talking happening. Shout out to Shane O'Connor. So we'll be entertaining ourselves all day with that. But I hope everybody had a good week. I hope your week's starting out pretty solid right now. I hope you turn this on in a good mood, or you're looking to get in a good mood, and I can switch it for you. I'm hoping. I'll make you feel like less of a piece of shit. I can do that. I don't know what specifically is hurting you this week, but I will help you feel better about yourself, because I did something terrible the other day, you guys. I did. I broke a cardinal rule that I told myself I was never allowed to do, and I did it anyway. I went grocery shopping in pajama pants. Yes, I did. I've often bashed the pajama pants wearing community. Wearing Cookie Monster sweatpants from Walmart in pajama pants into the Hy-Vee or the Piggly Wiggly, whatever grocery store you shop at. You've seen it. You know what ones I'm talking about. Wearing the DC shoes you get from J.C. Penney's. There's a look. There's a look. We all know it. We all know it. We all have a cousin who dresses like this. That's the problem. And if you don't have a cousin who dresses like that, you're the cousin who dresses like that, It's like you want to look for the crazy uncle, and if you can't spot him at the Christmas party, it's you. Yeah, that's me. I had to deal with that fact the other day. The last couple years, I've put that together, and I've made peace with it. I have a role to fill. It's just nice to have a nice spot to sit in, Yeah. I went to the grocery store in sweatpants, or not sweatpants. Sweatpants is fine. I went in pajama pants. That's just a whole nother level of trash. And it's not like I don't have Cookie Monster sweatpants, okay? I'm not that much of trash, okay? Okay? Yeah. No, I have Cookie Crisp. No. I have Southwestern pajamas where they have turquoise and wolves all over them. Actually, I'm not going to lie. If I ever go to the Southwest again, I will be buying one of those shirts. And if they have matching pajama bottoms, I will be having them. Those will be my new 90s. The fucking Southwestern wolf shirt and the pants combo. Ooh. Sign me right the fuck up. I should look online and see if, you guys know I love a sweatsuit. I should see online if they have one of those wolf shirts, the Southwestern wolf shirts with a sweatpants combo. Sweatsuit combo and that. Ooh. God damn, I'd be looking sick as fuck. I will be looking that up after this podcast. Don't be surprised if I have a sick new wolf hoodie. Hell yeah. But it was an emergency situation, is what I've been telling myself. But it's still a lapse in judgment. I could have put on pants, or at least switched into sweatpants. It was a huge lapse in judgment. What happened is I ran out of toilet paper. Also a garbage move. You tell yourself, like, the fact that I let that happen is so bad, because I kept telling myself every time. Like, I'd look down at the time. We're getting low on that toilet paper, and I check into the thing. There aren't any in here. I got to get some. I told myself, I don't know how many times, and I just set a reminder in your phone. I don't know why it was so hard. I just kept ignoring the problem. And then, of course, it got to a point where you do the really trash thing, and you break out the fucking paper towel roll. We've all done it, and if you're going to sit here and tell me I've never wiped my butt or cooch, I'm an inclusive podcast, with a paper towel, then you're lying. I know you're lying, okay? We've all been in this situation where you have to pull out a napkin or a paper towel because you're out of toilet paper. We've all been broke. We've all been in our 20s and in college. It happens, okay? Even you girls, you're like, I've never done that. Yeah, you have. You have. Because you've gone to a dude's party in college and where they didn't have toilet paper. They just had a stack of napkins on the back of the fucking toilet. That's what they had going on, okay? We have all done it. So I had to go get toilet paper. And I probably look like a fucking crazy person. I'm going to tell you exactly what I bought going into this, okay? I'm wearing flannel pajama pants. Blue. I have blue flannel pajama pants. Nice. They're good for, sipping coffee in the morning and having it. God, I should just put them on and wear them for the podcast and stood up and be like, I'm still rocking them. I'm a changed man now. You can't go back. Once you put on pajama pants and go into the grocery store, you're changed forever. It's like getting bit by a werewolf. On the third full moon, you can't be unchanged. That is actually the werewolf of white trash. If you get bit by somebody wearing pajama pants, IV, you're changed forever. Next thing you know, within a month's time, you're driving around a yellow Cavalier, and you're like, what fucking happened? Where's my life heading? Working a gas station. Not that all gas station people are white trash. Sorry. It's just, that's what bar I set for myself. Like, if I wasn't actually getting I didn't get an actual college education and somehow made myself at least a somewhat functioning person, I think I'd be in the gas station really fucking up. Like I'd fuck up so bad being a gas station clerk that eventually they'd put me in the back in like a kitchen, and all you do is make roller grill stuff. Like that's how much they're like, we can't have this guy in public. But I went to the Hy-Vee, needed toilet paper, so I got that. Went and found that real quick. Good. I'm an Angel Soft guy. If you guys want to get personal with me, if you ever want to just bring me a gift, just come to a show. If you're at a show, bring me some toilet paper. Just bring me a roll of Angel Soft. That'd be pretty sick. Honestly, that would be the coolest inside joke of all time. If you listen to this podcast and you're a fan and you go and check and go to one of my shows, if you bring me a 4-pack or even just a roll of Angel Soft toilet paper and just don't say anything and be like, what's up, bud? I had a great time at the show. Here you go. And just tip me in toilet paper, that would fucking rule. I would love that so much. That's going to be the thing. And you know what? This podcast will live on forever. So hopefully as I keep building my comedy career, eventually people just start listening back to this and this just comes back to me and I forget about it and it comes back. Oh, man, please. Yeah, that would be the best. So you get my Angel Soft. But then on the way out, as I'm walking back up towards the front, it's Saturday. I'm going to watch some college basketball. I'm doing some stuff around the house. I don't want to cook anything. So I got a pre-baked pizza. You're taking baked pizza. Good choice, right? So I get one of those. So I have toilet paper and a pre-baked pizza, and I'm in fucking pajama pants. And then I'm walking around, and I'm starting to think. I was like, oh, maybe I'll go look for some other stuff or whatever. And I had an interaction where I'm walking by one of the cashiers, and everybody, there's still cashiers at some grocery stores, but for the most part, they have all these self-checkouts everywhere. And it's getting to the point where people are so trained to just go to the self-checkout that people stand like security guards in front of their checkout lines. And this lady, because she's probably bored, she's stuck on checkout, she's waiting for somebody to come by, and I'm just walking, and I probably look dazed and confused. I don't know. But she just goes, how you doing? And I was like, it snapped me out of like a complete trance. And I was like, oh, I'm good. And she's like, are you ready to check out? And I stopped and thought about it. And I was like, yeah, I was just about to go buy unnecessary shit. And I was like, yeah, no, I am. I'll check out with you. And so they're now like having to corral people in order to do their job because they're bored. And it was a crazy realization because that's the first time I've had that happen, where somebody checking you out, they're just so bored that they're trying to get people to come and interact and do that rather than go through the self-checkout. It has become like weirdly, it's not weird, it's way more convenient than I thought it would be to just do self-checkout, especially when I had 2 items, but, I didn't have to do an interaction, it's just boop, 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 but it's way better. You should have an interaction with people. It's good for you. It sets the soul right. I felt better after that. And I was like, also, I thanked her. I said, hey, thank you. And she goes, oh, you're welcome. And I was like, no, thank you. You stopped me from spending unnecessary money because I was about to wander around this giant Hy-Vee and think of other things I needed that I definitely didn't. She saved me, which I'm sure she was like, damn, don't say that. They're listening. If they know I cost a more like just compulsive buying sales, they're going to fucking dock my pay. That not all heroes wear capes is what I'm saying. And not all good people wear pajama pants, Oh, man, it was a garbage thing. I can't believe I did that. I had to share that with you guys because I know I've bashed pajama wearers in the past. I know I've done it either on this podcast or on Who Gives a F. I know I've done it. But I just want to let you guys know I'm not above those pitfalls myself. And I just have to hold myself accountable. If I'm trying to be honest with you, and so you guys hold me accountable, and then I hold you guys accountable. Like, we shouldn't be going out in public in pajama pants, okay? Even if it is to just go to get a couple roller dogs at the local gas station or anything. Any super convenient. It does. Just put on sweatpants, okay? it's one step above. You still are comfy. They're borderline pajama pants, but just let's be better as a society, okay? Let's ban the pajama pants in public, okay? I'll do better. You guys will do better, and that's this week's PSA, okay? Stop the pajama pants wearing, okay? I broke a cardinal rule, and I'm taking my lashings, you know? So that's what I'm here to do. Anyway, I appreciate you guys being understanding of my fall from grace, and now we can move on. And I think we should just go ahead and get into what I found this week, you guys. That's right. It's time to get into our article this week. Now, we have all this great push for green energy, right? And we want things to be more efficient and better for the environment. And you know what? I can get behind that. Well, why wouldn't we try to improve fuel sources and all that stuff if we can, right? But I'm not going to lie. When things get brought up as like, here's what one of the ideas we have, I still like cringe, like, I don't know, man, because I think of the horrible things. And let's just jump into one of the new technologies they're trying to roll out, which is NASA aims to fly an experimental electric plane this year. No. If there's one thing I'm not okay with, it's an electric plane. The idea of it freaks me out. And we'll read into this article. I haven't read the article at all, but here's my main concern, okay? If you guys have ever traveled, I've been on planes and stuff where they're like, hey, yeah, we just got to make sure they refuel the plane real quick. And I've heard horror stories about people being like, the plane didn't get fueled all the way. We're going to have to go back down. And it's like, wait, they didn't fuel the plane all the way? How did you fuck that up? You know? And so an electric plane has to charge. And sometimes your phone doesn't charge for some weird reason. Like, I don't know, like it's not that the USB isn't plugged in or anything. You just all of a sudden, no, this didn't charge today. I don't want that happening with the plane. You know, they just assume it's charged, don't check the battery, you're up in the air, and all of a sudden, engine gets unplugged. This better be like, I would rather have a hybrid plane, okay? Let's do baby steps. How about that? That's what we did with cars. You know, we had the gas-powered combustion engine. Then we went to a Toyota Prius hybrid where you could switch back and forth between electric and gas. You know, let's just have a fail-safe. And I hope that's what they're thinking. Let's have a fail-safe so we could at least not plummet into the earth flying an electric plane, NASA. But let's read on and find out what they got. So sometime later this year, I don't know when this okay, it came out January 25th. I just didn't know what it was. I just wanted to check. Sometime later this year, perhaps this summer, perhaps this fall. Why did they just leave it at that? Why do you got to do perhaps this summer? Maybe the fall. Maybe this winter. I don't know. We're going to try it when it's fucking icy out. Like, God damn it. Just, like, let me name all the seasons it might happen in. An electric aircraft from NASA, the X-57, okay, is set to take flight in California. It's what NASA describes as the first all-electric aircraft. And when it does lift off the ground, it won't look the way that NASA has been depicting the plane on its website. Instead of a whopping 14 electric motor propellers in the aircraft will have just 2. But those 2 motors, powered by more than 5,000 cylindrical battery cells in the plane's fuselage, should be enough to get it up in the air before 2023 is over, which is when the X-57 program is set to shut down too. Yeah, we're going to have this awesome breakthrough, and then we're going to scrap this whole thing. You know, that's what NASA does. We get to the moon, and then we scrap that program and destroy all of the technology we have, you know. We just kind of do it, dump a bunch of money in it, and fuck that shit. Sorry, that was gross. Here's what I know about the plane, or how the plane will work, the challenges the program face, and how lessons from the space flight helps inform the details of the battery system. Modification 2. If the plane does not indeed take flight this year as planned, it will do so with the form called Modification 2, which involves an electric motor and propeller on each wing, uh, giving the aircraft the thrust it needs in order to take to the skies. While an aeromatic and space agency, while the aeromatic and space agency had hoped to fly the plane, which was based on a Technoman P2006T, in addition configurations known as modifications 3 and 4, that won't happen. Why? Because making the plane that flies safely on electricity is hard, and the program is only funded through 2023. It's so hard to make an electric flying plane, guys, that they said, yeah, you only have until this, and we're not renewing it. Okay, we're fucking done with this shit. We'll do it. We'll make it public, and then we'll make Elon fucking dump all his money into this. Okay, we're not gonna sit here and have you guys do this anymore. Okay. Okay. We've been learning a lot over the years, and we had thought that we had learned learning through the flight test. Here's the other thing, but I keep wanting to bring up that I keep forgetting while I keep reading. Are they having somebody actually fly this, or are they doing like robo flying? Like, did you imagine being the guy being the first person to fly it and stuff? It would be nuts. Like when the Wright brothers took off, those dudes being on that plane had to be so fucking scary because it's like, I think I know how this is gonna work. Like they had no real concept of like, I think this will work. Like they're like they had an idea, but that would just be scary as shit, especially flying an electric plane. Uh, it's be like being. I feel like you're inside of a power plant that's just vibrating. Like I don't. I'd like to know what that's doing to the human body. I think about that all the time, being next to computers and shit. I remember all those rumors, which I never remember if they're true or not, because I never looked into it. When they said if you keep a laptop on your lap, you would actually kill your sperm as a dude and stuff because of the heat and all that stuff. So I always wonder about that kind of stuff. Like, is it safe to sit inside of a uh, a plane with 5,000 solenoids powering the engine? I don't know. But whatever. Anyway, it turns out we had a lot of lessons to learn during the design and integration of airworthy qualification steps, and so we ended up spending more time and resources on that. Weird qualification steps. It makes it sound like there's a lot of regulations on what you can put in the sky, and even though you're a quasi government and just thing, you can't always just do what you want. Says Sean Clark. Yeah, so he was the guy who runs that program, and what it's been hugely valuable, he added, but it means that we're not going to end up having the resources for the Mod 4 and 5 flights. It will still fly as a all-electric plane, but in Mod 2 with two motors. Transistors. Okay, one glitch the team had to iron out before the aircraft was safe was to take flight involved the components that the electricity from the batteries have to travel through before they reach the motor. The problem with this was with transistors modules inside the inverters, which changes electricity from DC to AC. We're using these modules that are several transmitters in packs. They were spec'd to be able to tolerate this type of environment we were expected to put it in. But every time we would test them, they would fail. We would have the transistors just blow up in the environment test chamber. Yeah, I'm guessing battery is in some kind of pressurized air because this devices like work in normal planes. We have batteries in them, and then you're in a pressurized area. So I'm assuming it would have to be what he's talking about is in that test area is those batteries being out in the exposed area in the sky. probably is causing a lot, because it's very, as you go up higher, isn't it? It gets colder, if I remember right. Like as you go up into the atmosphere, I would assume. I don't know. Fuck. I don't know shit about air travel. I don't know why I'm trying to figure this out. But I would assume batteries exploding up in the air is probably not good. Also, isn't that that sounds like, at least they're doing it in a test environment, because if that was happening up, they kept doing this, wouldn't that be a pretty bad environmental thing to have battery acid flying through the air, or smoking batteries? Smoking cobalt up in the air? I don't know. The component failed, such as pieces, equipment blowing up. This is the type of issue that aircraft makers prefer to resolve on the ground. No shit. Yeah, no, we were hoping to just, if it happens up there, we just wing it, you know. Clark says they figured it out. We did a lot of dissection of them for after they exploded. It's so hard to know what went wrong, he noted, lightheartedly, in the manager suggesting an engineer face with a messy problem. The solution was new hardware, a redesign of the inverter system, basically from the ground up. They now know works. They are now working really well, he added. We put a fully set through the qualifications, and they're all passed. Lessons from space. The traditional aircraft burns fossil fuel in obviously flammable explosive substance to power their engines. Those working with electric aircrafts and batteries need to ensure that the battery cells don't spark fire either. Last year in Kansas, for example, an FAA-sponsored test featured a pack of aviation batteries being dropped from 50,000 amount. I'm just assuming 50 feet to ensure that they could handle the impact they did. In the X-57, the batteries are modeled known as 18650 cells, made by Samsung. We don't make shit anymore. The aircraft uses 5,120 of them. Wow, that's so many batteries, dude. Yeah, how do you recycle those things? Can you take those batteries to Best Buy? Did you guys know that you're supposed to take batteries to Best Buy or places that recycle them? You're not supposed to throw them in the garbage. It's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to recycle them. Yeah. Recycle them. I don't even know if they really recycle. Every time I hear anybody bring up some recycling, somebody always goes, they don't even fucking actually do that, man. It's not real. It all ends up in the same place. I'm like, oh, well, that's fucking cool. Then why does everybody keep telling me to do it? Anyway, weight's around 51 pounds. Clark says the trick is to make sure that all the components are packaged the right way to avoid a fire. I feel like that's the number one rule in all of flight, is always like, we're trying to avoid a fire. I feel like that's any kind of any building aspect. I feel like as men, humans, I should say, not men, but mankind is what I was looking for. But as humans, we're just always avoiding fire. We love it. It helped us evolve a lot, but we're also avoiding it at all times. We're just like, how do we make things less flammable? Unless you're like smoking cigarettes and shit. Then we're like, how do we light this and control it? Oh, man. Yeah, anyway, we're always, even one battery experience is a failure. In other words, a failure is an option, but they plan to manage any failures so that they don't have to, so they don't start a blaze. We found that there was not an industry standard for how to package these cells into a high voltage, high power pack that would be also protect them against cellular failure. Dude, there's no industry standard on how to actually package these things in a safe and contained environment. But yeah, we got this guy. Jeff, he signed off on it. He's gonna go fucking out there and fly this thing. Yeah, so they're just talking about safety. I want to watch this video real quick with you guys because I think this might be interesting. So let's check out this video about the whole plane, because maybe it'll explain some more.
The X-57 Maxwell reached another milestone towards the first test flight with the successful installation of battery packs in the cabin of the aircraft. These commercial
This is also where we put the captain's seat. He sits right on top of these batteries. Yeah, it doubles as a seat warmer having these batteries in here.
Lithium-ion batteries are secured in custom, lightweight cases that were extensively
Lithium-ion batteries brought to you by Energizer. They just keep going and going and going until they fail and start a fire up in the sky.
tested for safety.
And so the process is pretty much based on working from the left side of the aircraft to the right side and putting the battery modules in chronological order. The purpose of having the batteries fully integrated into the aircraft and spinning motors off of battery power is to let us know if we're ready for flight.
Upon completion of the battery installation, the crew successfully tested X-57's motors spinning off onboard battery power. The motors had previously spun, but were drawing energy from the facility power or the batteries outside the aircraft. Operation with the battery system installed is an important breakthrough, since it is the first time that the aircraft is capable.
It's an important breakthrough, guys. We started the fucking engines with the battery. It turns out the batteries work. We put the batteries inside the thing, and it still worked. Isn't that crazy? We were doing them from the outside. We had them on the outside, and they were working. But once we put them inside, it worked. It turns out they work if you put them on the inside. It's fucking crazy, guys. That is a huge breakthrough. God damn, NASA, you're just always breaking barriers, you know? From your award-winning cinematography all the way to putting a battery inside of a plane. You know, it's never been done before. There's not a single battery in any plane. Yeah, I like how I'm sitting here bashing these guys, and I'm doing a podcast by myself. Yeah. You're really accomplishing something, Wade. You're doing great. You wore pajama pants to the fucking goddamn grocery store this week. You have no room to talk about these guys. Yeah, I know. And that's how you break yourself down and remind yourself you're not better than everybody else, right? And you know, if you want to really make sure you feel better than me all the time, you guys got to go over to punninggame.com. That's right, punninggame.com is where you can hear me yammer and figure out that you are listening to a moron every week and feel way better about yourself. That's the point of these shows. You laugh, you feel better about yourself. So go over to punninggame.com. Check out all the shows. You got Who Gives a F, The Empty Parlor, this show, Not Worth the Time, and then all the back catalogs of all the shows we've ever had on the network. And then if you want to watch stuff, guys, head over to youtube.com and go to Comic Wade Taylor. Comic Wade Taylor is where you can find my half-hour Wild Horses. My coffee is coming back up on me. I'm sorry, guys, during my plugs here. You can find my half-hour Wild Horses on there, so go watch that. Go check that out. You'll enjoy that. Plus, the full video episode of the show, so you can see and follow along with what I'm reading and watching. And you can just check out all the clips of Not Worth the Time, Who Gives a F, all that stuff. You'll love it. It's a good time. So go hit subscribe, hit like, leave a comment. Let me know you guys are listening and enjoying the show. I would appreciate that. And then don't forget to go to punninggame.com and check out the Punning Game shop, where you can get yourself t-shirts, hoodies, support your favorite shows at punninggame.com. And don't forget to use the promo code NWTPOD. That's NWT Pod, and that gets you free shipping at checkout, guys. Hey, guys, I appreciate you checking out the show this week. Thank you for relieving me of my sin of wearing the pajama pants. I hope you have a fantastic week. And remember, don't do anything I wouldn't do.